Hello, fellow NEETs. So today I'm feeling a little bit brave today, a little bit ambitious. I'm gonna try something new that I haven't tried it in these videos before. So like before, I usually just found things around my house to draw, but now I'm thinking, what if I do my own thing today for this time? Usually I'm used to drawing from my imagination when I just draw in my free time, but it's just to make the videos more interesting. I try to take from life to see if I can make something new out of it. I'm not sure. I think creating something new from something that's already existing is how most artwork is really created in the end anyway. There's no true inspiration, or I mean true originality in art, I think. And a lot of it is just down to, what you think is interesting and what inspires you. And that kind of builds into your imagination, you know, and you have this catalog of like different objects, and you can kind of mash into a mix of like both real things and I guess mash together things. I don't know. If you think, for example, like a griffin. A griffin is a imaginary creature, but it's a mix between a lion, an eagle, and some other stuff. But you get a mythological creature from that. That's sort of taking from parts from reality and also parts from your creative imagination and just mashing it together. And I think that's what I like to do a lot with my artwork. Is I like to take things that I've seen before in real life that speak to me, and then I just put them together in an interesting way in an artwork that makes something new and unique. And I think that's what really every artist that wants to exercise their creativity should do. Either if it's inspired by other people's artworks or inspired by your own life, you can find something interesting to work off of, I think. Like, I don't know, like even if you just live a boring life, you can make your artworks express that in an interesting way. You can have very boring objects, but maybe do something unique. Or like, how do you feel about these objects? Then you can have your own spin on it, you know? So today for my artwork, I'm not gonna focus on any actual object around my house. I'm just gonna completely try to go from my mind and see where it goes. Because there was a drawing I did earlier today. It's this one actually. I like this one a lot. It's not finished yet, but it turned out pretty well. I think I might turn this into a sticker actually. But I was thinking of just keeping along the lines of just trying to go with my imagination and seeing where it goes. You know, I just play it jazzy, extra jazz. Yeah, so let's get started. So today we're going to be using the Mujirishi Pocket Note with the Kuretake Fure Gokochi. So I'm going to move to this page. I like this. I'm not finished it yet, but I'm going to work on this later. It's gonna make an amazing sticker, for sure. I was just kind of in the flow, not really thinking, just boredom. There's something about boredom that really gets the creativity flowing. Honestly, I recommend if you're in an artist block, try like forcing yourself to sort of be bored. Try to look at the things just around you and like accept the boredom. And eventually your mind just like to entertain itself, it'll start using its imagination just to stop being bored. I think it's a good idea if you want to be more creative to actually just cut off the influence of like social media or whatever. Just just try to, I guess, be more solitary. Don't really think about what other people are doing on social media. It's honestly more distracting, if anything. And you should just focus on what is interesting to you in your daily life that you really know well, and focus on the things around you. And man, you get such a creative boost from it, to be honest. I think for me, it's, I sometimes fall into the habit of uh, trying to look at like what other people are doing on social media too much. Sorry, I'm kind of weird today. Um, but I focus too much on like what people are doing on social media too much, and it does hurt my creativity a bit because it makes me feel like I should be doing something where in reality I don't need to be like appealing to that audience or anything. I should really focus on just like myself, or what's important around me and my daily life, rather than what's going on like the other side of the planet or some person. Like it doesn't need to matter that much. It's like I think like art is so personal and so emotional that it should really be about you over anything else or anybody else. So I feel like the best inspiration usually comes from your daily life and not from other people. But that's like just my opinion, that like my personal experience with trying to find creativity or trying to be creative in my artworks. So today, the date is 2023. It's December 11th. I think that makes a whole month of just doing this series at this point. Because, yeah, we've been doing this series for an entire month now. We seem to have gotten quite a few fans of the drawing series. It's very small now, but I'm not trying to be anything too ambitious. I just more want to create a community of people who enjoy creating arts and just sketching, or just giving people some motivation to draw every day. Here, where should we start? I think I want to go a more electronic route this time. So generally when I think of like something to draw just out of my imagination, I think of a main theme. So it's like electronics, mecha, I don't know. And then I usually do I do something new, and I also lean into something like sort of more comfortable. So part of it's uncomfortable and part of it's more comfortable. Like drawing pretty girls, it's very comfortable for a lot of artists, for me too. But then you do add something to it that makes you uncomfortable. So maybe electronic parts, plants, flowers. So that's the first thing I think of when I start. So it's like what direction I want to go with it. When you add something familiar and unfamiliar together, I think it makes the most appealing artwork to the most people. Because there's some things that just work regardless, and then there's other things that just give it that little oomph, that little it factor. It makes it quirky or different. I think a lot of people appreciate it when you try to be a little bit different, but not too different that you're way out there, you know? So I'm gonna try to do something more electronic, and then just like a pretty, maybe like fashion, I think. Like if I draw like a girl that's like a streetwear, but it's like electronic, I think maybe I can do something cool with that, just off the top of my head. So maybe she has like some like, I should start with like a face, like an outline for the face. Oops, dried out my pen a little bit. Just to get the framing of the face. And then maybe she can have like some headphones or something, some really futuristic looking headphones. And you generally want to start with like the outlines first. So just the outlines of the headphones. Maybe they're like sort of like more square shaped. But then you have some sort of more futuristic motifs here, like these little screw holes. And then maybe there's like this, you know, like stuff that's very stereotypical in sci-fi or something. Like if you think of the designs in Overwatch or something, they use a lot of hexagons, is very common. And a lot of this just comes down to just going with the flow and not really caring too much about the outcome. Like, I guess she's gonna have some padding here with the edges of the headphones. But it just comes to you. Then, I know some headphones have like this extra metal part here or something. I don't know what it's called. I just noticed it on some headphones. I'm just completely going with feeling here. And then the other side. And maybe she has some bangs, but maybe what if I do something more unique that's not just like hair? Maybe, what if she had like wires for hair? That'd be kind of cool. It's like this is the part that's adding the little bit of uniqueness to your artworks. Definitely pays off, because then you need a little bit of that randomness. The little weird randomness. And then you get something unique. And to be honest, it's when I am making these videos, I do try my best to talk as much as possible, just to make the video interesting or entertaining. But when I do these kinds of artworks, I do require a bit more concentration. So sorry in advance for maybe not talking as much as I should, but I'm just trying to make sure I'm thinking a little bit more, because these kinds of artworks require a bit more imagination. I don't just draw something from life. It's like now it's starting to come together a bit because you have like some wires. It's like that's kind of unique, so it's getting somewhere. I could draw some like ports or something. Maybe if there's just like a random, what is this, a VGA port here? It's just stuff I've seen just randomly before. Don't think about it too much. It doesn't have to make sense. And then maybe like some transformer. I don't know what these are called. You know these things that they put on wires that are, it's just like a little cylinder on it? I don't know what they're called, but you notice them sometimes. Maybe she has like some, like, you know, in Cyberpunk where they have like some little designs on their face or something because it looks cool. That looks cool, I think. But because I'm talking more, it's a little harder to concentrate, so I'm just gonna try to not focus too much on, being perfect. It doesn't matter. This is just a sketch. It's just for fun anyways. It's meant to be enjoyable, so you might as well enjoy it. And I like those headphones where they have that like extra band there, but then they have this wire over top to like make sure it's like tensioned over your head. I don't know what it's called. I don't know headphone terminology. It's just something I've seen. What are some other pieces of technology I can add to her hair or something? What's a trinket that looks kind of like a... What's a technological thing that looks kind of like a hair trinket? Like a hair clip. Maybe... I like those bracers. Like, I don't... Sometimes they add like these staple looking things to objects. Maybe that kind of looks like it. And then... I like to make mechanical sounds while I'm just drawing. It just makes it cooler, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. I make the coolest mechanical sounds in the world. There we go. I'm just trying to get sort of like a shape language going on. I'm getting somewhere with this. I'm gonna try to go quicker because I don't want to be too long with this. But it is getting somewhere. Maybe if I just add some like things that look like hair, but it's just wires and stuff, that would be kind of cool. And then it's just I draw the outlines. These are all just like things I've kind of seen before, but I'm sort of just mashing them up together. Like auxiliary cables, just the shapes of like general wires and stuff you see. And it is really cool, actually. It's like, yeah, stuff like this is kind of cool. Now it's starting to become something sort of creative, like more creative than the initial parts would be. I think that's pretty awesome, to be honest. It's like I didn't really do anything new here. But it just looks new. It's not really new, you know? And maybe she has like some cool cyberpunk looking thing here. Maybe some little hook here, mechanical bits. And I don't know what I'm doing. I don't need to know what I'm doing. It doesn't matter if I know or not. Nobody's gonna care. And that's comforting. I just add the shading here. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. What am I doing? I like making sounds while I'm drawing, okay? It makes it feel a lot cooler. And some more like ports here. And maybe if I add some depth to the actual like collar. Like it has some, you know, like pieces of electronics or something attached to it. Like it plugs in and it looks like it connects together almost. And maybe if there was like some framing. It's like, you know, in electronic or in mechanical parts, they have frames on the inside to make it more rigid. It's like maybe I can do something like that. That would make it look pretty cool. Then maybe here I can add some like negative space here for where her hair parts. Maybe I just leave this sort of blank because it looks kind of stylistic, so let's keep it like that. And then if she has like a pistol, I don't know, that would be kind of badass. If she had like a cool, you know, like Diva's pistol, how it does look a little bit like futuristic-ish. It's like kind of rounded. Maybe I can do something like that. Like it has a, see, now I'm starting to get into the flow state. It takes a little time for it to get there at first. But once you do, it's like, it's really hard to get out of it. And now I'm like almost kind of addicted to the process. There we go. And so she has like some blaster thing. I like to draw the outlines first, and I feel like that makes it easier. She has a very small hand. This is not... Someone's hand would not normally be this small, but whatever. We go with it. Maybe if I add some bolts here, he'll look more real. I think this looks kind of cool. I'm having fun. And then maybe if I add some like molding lines to it, like how typically when you have products, you can't make them in like one shape like a 3D printer would. You have to take multiple moldings to actually make them work together. So not everything is fully feasible when you try to manufacture something. So to make something look more realistic, you got to add some of those manufacturing lines. Like this. Something like that. She has like a cute girly pistol. Maybe she has like a super cool, like, what is this called? Cuff thing. That just looks mega awesome and cyberpunk. And maybe her hand is kind of in a weird position though, but whatever. And what should I do here? Like, should have like some blazer, maybe? Like sharp, no, maybe sharp shoulders. Just because it's cool looking. Because why not? And then just like a blazer. Like a crop, sort of crop thing. Blazers like that feel very kind of like cyberpunk to me. Yeah, her hand's in a really weird spot because it's not going to fit on the page either way, so. I work with what I have. So these parts can be a little bit less detailed. That's fine. Give her kind of like the Makoto, or Matoko kind of look from Ghost in the Shell. If I give her that kind of look, I think she's gonna look mega awesome. She looks badass as fuck. Even though her hand's kind of in a weird spot, but that doesn't matter. It would have been off the page anyway, so we'd make do with what we have. She has a collarbone here. Because Makoto, Matoko, I think it's Matoko, not Makoto. She has like a leotard under, but then she wears like kind of like an over jacket. I don't know, I think that's just kind of cool looking. To me, it feels very much like this is cyberpunk. Here I'm just gonna be a little bit more abstract here. Maybe we can add like a shine to the leotard. Not sure how this interprets, to be honest. Because I try to, when you have reflective things, the parts beside the actual shiny spot is like darker. So you can highlight with that with pen, but since you're working in monochrome, maybe people wouldn't interpret it like that, but I don't know. I think it looks cool regardless. Here we go. I just draw wrinkles. And I didn't actually draw her face. So I'm going to do that. A lot of people talk about how artists with like same face syndrome or something, whatever. I don't get the whole same face syndrome thing. I think it's just an excuse for people to like say other people's art is bad for no reason because they're jealous that they're good at art or something. I think it's just people taking these random things and holding it over your head to justify like your art being not so good. It's really a toxic artist culture. It's really toxic to be around, to be honest. I don't think a lot of that stuff matters. I mean, if you look around through history, same face syndrome is just so common. I don't think it's never been a problem until now. Because like for my artwork, I don't care about same face syndrome. I draw similar looking faces all the time. I actually just don't care. Because I don't think it should have it doesn't, what my faces look like doesn't really have a bearing on what kind of quality my artwork is, you know? It's not, I don't think it's good to judge someone's skill just by a really specific attribute. It feels very gatekeepy, and it can be used in a very toxic way. I get that people want like diversity or whatever in artwork, but a lot of the people who are judging don't even draw, so I think it's like kind of pointless. You're just trying to impress people who don't even care. But that's just how people are sometimes. In the end, it's just more about it's about what you enjoy. That's what makes it fun. I think this is pretty much done. Looks pretty good. Hand is a bit off, but I don't know, if I make like a sticker out of this or something, I can just like use the computer to move this a little bit to the left and then draw something here to fix it up. It looks pretty good. I can definitely feel my art quality going up because I've been practicing so frequently recently, just doing these videos. It's really been great for my improvement, in my opinion. So I think if you were to follow these things and use them as motivation for your own drawing, like art journey, you'll definitely see improvements as well, for sure. Yeah. So in the end, this was the finished artwork. Today's challenge was to more focus on your imagination and just trying to come up with things from your own head. I think this turned out pretty well. Definitely, drawing every day has helped me kind of bring my imagination out on the paper more easily, and it's like a language almost. Like if you have a mother tongue or if you speak a language, you know, if you don't speak it or use it, you lose it. So I think art is a similar way where it becomes so much easier to just bring out that imagination when you just practice so often. It becomes like a second nature, like a second language to you in a way. I hope you guys enjoyed enjoyed drawing, and if you use these videos to draw yourself or create something that you work on just to use it as motivation, please at me on Twitter or Instagram at Elisa's Art Diary. Thank you. Bye.